Hey everybody, just a quick video as promised. Some of you had been asking about Vendoo and how we use Vendoo for our in our listing process for our online reselling business. And I think Mr. Pish Posh and I talked about it a little bit more in our plans for 2024 in that video, just that we've been using it a little bit differently than we had in the past. And so we'll go into that a little bit more. I just wanted to be clear too, I'm not pushing Vendoo. I do think it's a great product. Everything you use online, platforms and apps and things to help you do have pros and cons. If you're just starting out, don't feel like you have to do this or sign up for something like this. You can definitely just get comfortable with the platform that you're on. You can, if you're just going to expand into one other platform, you could copy and paste. That's totally fine as well. That being said, I do have a link I am going to put in the description down below that if you do sign up to Vendoo, you can do it through my link and I will get a small percentage of the sign up. Also, there's a code, I think that's good till the end of January, that will let you get 40% off your first month. And pricing, we'll talk a little bit more about that in detail, but it is important to know one thing I like about the pricing with Vendoo is that it's adjustable. You might have to start out at a higher subscription to get all your listings imported into Vendoo to begin with. But from then on, if you're only going to list, say, 100 items a month, you can drop your subscription down. If you're going to be listing more, you can bump your subscription up, so every month you can change it according to your needs. So you're not locked into like a really high price. It's based on the amount of listings you import or create, not the total inventory that you have in your shop. So anyway, we'll take a look at pricing in a second, and I think I will be able to find that screen to show that to you because I can't remember off the top of my head what it is at the moment. Okay, so let's go over, well, first of all, what I wanted to do is, because we made these changes, Mr. Pish Posh isn't here right now, but he kept coming up to me this week saying, "Oh, I like Vendoo. I really like this. I'm getting used to this." So I had him record a few words, so I'm going to pop that in right here. Here's Mr. Pish Posh working late at night. Can you tell me what you told me earlier, Mr. Pish Posh?
I love listing on Vendoo.
You sound like a commercial.
No, I do.
I like your vest.
Thanks. This is my work vest. Yeah, so once I got familiar with it, I actually really like it. I think it's faster, much faster. Actually, it is faster.
Okay. Because the switch we made was before we would list directly on eBay.
Right.
And then we'd import into Vendoo.
Right.
And then we would spread things out from there.
Right. So you'd have to do all those different steps.
Right.
But now by listing directly into Vendoo, it's the foundation is there. Right. So you have all your information in your Vendoo form, which then that's just there.
Right.
So it never goes away. It doesn't get deleted accidentally by eBay. And then all you have to do is then hit eBay listing, fill in the item specifics, and it's ready to go.
Right.
And then if I want to cross post to Etsy or anywhere else, Mercari, all the information's there.
Right.
All you have to do is just add the specific information that site wants. So it's great.
It's going fast.
Yeah, much faster.
All right. So we're good with Vendoo then.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we are just on the main page here of Vendoo.com. It's Vendoo.co actually. And it just brings out that it's a cross-listing app. You can start it for free. So I'm not sure exactly how the my referral thing works with that, but I'm pretty sure you get a free trial on this. Anyway, here's a quick overview of how it works. So you can take existing items from like your eBay store, or you can create brand new listings right in the app. So like I had said before, we used to just make all our listings on eBay, pull them into Vendoo, and then send them out to the other platforms. But you can also just create the listing right in Vendoo itself, which is what we've started to do. Now, you can then cross-list single or multi-quantity. That's important too if you have multiples. Some of the other cross-listing apps don't do that. And they have it says they have more than 10 marketplaces that you can share to. You can mark your item once it sells. You can mark your item sold right in Vendoo, and it will then, if you mark it as sold in Vendoo, like on eBay, it will delist it from all the other platforms that you have it on. So you don't have to go to each platform to end it. Now, Vendoo has also recently added a auto detection of sales. And so they have it for a couple of the platforms. I think it's 4 of the platforms: eBay, Posh, I think Etsy, and Depop, or maybe it's Mercari and Depop. Anyway, if your browser is up and running, it will, and something sells on eBay or Poshmark, it will auto detect that sale, and then it will end the listing for you on the other platforms. So that's a new feature. You have to have that part turned on in order for that. Each platform you choose whether to turn that on or not. And so that's just something new that, Vendoo was the first to do that. Right now, your desktop has to be running, like your computer has to be on, and Vendoo has to be open for that to happen. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. Hopefully sometime they add it to the app. So Vendoo does have an app as well that you can. So I like this because when I'm out and about, if I know my computer's not on at home and I see something sell, I can just go to one spot in Vendoo and mark it as sold, and then it'll delist it off those other marketplaces. Okay, so you can also use Vendoo as like an inventory, an analytics section and everything. We don't keep up with that end of it too much. That's not something I'm concerned about. We have our own way of keeping track of things, but you can, like it says down here, there's analytics to keep track of your sales, profit, revenue. So you can put, when you mark it sold, you can put the exact amount it sold for and keep track of your profit and stuff like that there. The other thing I skipped, it just says you can bulk delist and relist old listings into brand new ones. That's kind of fun too. You can do 10 at a time. So you can go and find your 10 oldest things on Posh, click all of them, click 10 of them, and then just it'll delist all 10 and relist all 10. And it's still attached to that same listing, but it's considered a brand new listing on the marketplace. So that's just kind of an overview on that. Now, if I can go into pricing, let's see what their pricing is right now. Okay, they do have a yearly plan. Okay, so you can do a free plan with 5 items, right? Then you can do a yearly plan. These yearly plans are at the top. Oh, I'm on yearly plans, that's why. Okay, so monthly plan. $20 a month, you can add 25 items to Vendoo. For $30 a month, you can add 75 items to Vendoo every month. $50, you can do 250 items. Now, that's the point I'm at right now, but I'm on my way to doing this one, the $70 a month. I'm pretty sure we are going to have to bump up from that now that we're really ramping up our cross-listing. So, anyway, you can, so that's $50 a month. But like I said, say you had a bunch of items to get in there. You can sign up. This is how I believe it works. So you sign up with my link, you'd get 40% off that first month. I think you can even message them and let them know how many listings that you're needing to import into into Vendoo, and they can work with you on what the pricing of that will be. But say your eBay store has 200 items in it, you can sign up for this one, but you're only going to be adding, 50 to 75 items a month. Then you sign up with the higher amount. If you do it before the end of January, you'd get 40% off that first month, and then drop it down to the $30 a month to maintain it, And then say like you're going to go on vacation and you're not going to be listing very much, you can drop it down, even further, but you can do that month by month. So anyway, yeah, a lot of people get, oh, it's expensive. So you definitely do need to think about investing in your reselling business and whether that's worth it to you. That's just something that you have to decide. It's a deduction that I use. So I am totally okay with that because I do feel like it's making me more sales. Okay. And I showed you on the other keywords video and resources, they have all sorts of reselling resources as part of their community and everything. Now, let's see, was there anything else? Here are the marketplaces that they connect with: eBay, Poshmark, Facebook, Mercari, Etsy, Depop, Shopify, Vestiaire, Kittison, and Grailed are the platforms that they use right now. So yeah, Shopify, that's kind of interesting if you would ever played around with the idea of having your own website. Okay, so let's go over to my inventory. Let's just get right to looking at how it kind of all works. This is the inventory page. So let's just say we're going to add a new item to our inventory. And you can see right here, you have the counter. We're at 183 out of 250 items. But I have in my active column 800 items. So you can see I'm not paying for those 800 every month. Those were already imported in the past. Okay, so I am going to hit new item. And so right here, you can end up just making a listing starting with the Vendoo form, or you can import your existing item. So you can choose a marketplace. You can go to eBay, right? So here's what the import from eBay thing looks like. It takes a second or two to get things loaded. Now, all of these items are already in Vendoo. That's why they're gray. Okay, so I'm not going to pull any of these in. It says they're already in inventory. And it tells you how it got in there, created and listed from Vendoo, right? So I'm going to cancel that, but that's how you would end up. You could pick 20 items at a time, and then you can hit import and pull your stuff in. Okay, so let's cancel that. Now you can also create templates for your listings. So we have made a few different templates. Mr. Pish Posh made hats and caps. I've got some pattern templates. I've got a necktie template, a flatware template, and we're still working on, make templates to speed things up. So say I'm going to list a pattern. So I click Vogue pattern. Are you sure you want to use a template? I use it. Okay. So now the things that I've kind of saved as a template are already here. So I've already got the word Vogue there. I've got some things in the description that I include in every single pattern listing. So I would make my title, I copy my title, stick it in there. I'd add my sizes. I'd, write a description of the pattern. I have this information, which I can change according to whether the pattern technically is factory folded or uncut, and then the year it's from. The brand is already filled in, condition. I can do a SKU if I want to, and then tags. Okay, so thinking ahead, I know I'm going to be posting this onto Etsy, and I will need some tags on there. eBay won't need those tags so much, so I can either fill in these here, and it'll transfer into when I'm doing the Etsy listing, or I can just wait till I'm doing the Etsy listing and do it there. But since this is kind of the base of your listing, then I could go ahead and fill in the tags there. I've got the quantity. I already selected the category. Most of my patterns are about the same weight, so I've already got that set up. I throw in a price. They do have a feature for a price checker. I don't even, it says it's powered by Sellhound, so I've never used it. I just know my own pricing. And then you can create Vendoo labels that are just within Vendoo. They're internal. They're not going to show, but it's just a way to organize your inventory. I might start using these if I need to kind of find all the patterns at once or something like that. So we'll see. And then you save it. Okay, so you go ahead and save it. Okay, so now it's all set. Whatever changes I made, which I didn't make any, but say I had filled all this in. Now I just pop, here's my list of marketplaces, so I'll go to eBay. And the eBay form, this will have all, whatever photos I put in, on the Vendoo form, the photos will be right here. All that same information is here. And then you just kind of have to, I might add the UPC. I will open the optional fields, and this will be your item specifics. And so as we know, eBay has a ton of item specifics, so we just go ahead and fill all those in. You pick your store category, you do your shipping, get that all figured out, and put your price. I didn't put a price in the other one, but if I hadn't saved it, it would have transferred over right here. But as you can see, this pink one is the only, the pink ones are the ones that you have to fill in before you post it. Now, obviously I'm missing images, the shipping service, and a buy it now price. But if I wasn't, if I had put all that in, I would go ahead and list that on eBay. Okay, and then that would shoot off to eBay. Then I would come over to Etsy, and all the photos would be there, the title, all the stuff that I had come up with in the main Vendoo form will all be here. There's a few things that don't transfer over to eBay. What I end up doing is you can choose to make it a draft onto Etsy. And so it'll go into your drafts over on Etsy. And so then I go to Etsy, I open the draft. I personally like to play around with the thumbnail on Etsy. So I do that, and then I pick my shop section, and then I launch it from Etsy. So, but you could launch it as a live listing if you wanted to, and then just make some edits over there if you need to. Let's see. So going back to inventory, so that's a new item, okay? That's how you can run it. Now, as far as photos, if I had my photos on this computer right here, then I would go ahead and I would just add my photos from the computer. So as you can see, I made this one, right? And I will probably end up having to edit that and make that a real listing. Anyway, so what I would do, so if I look down, Mr. Pish Posh was busy with the hats. He's got them on eBay, and I started to cross-post them into Poshmark as well. So if we look down, I've got these, and all of these that aren't posted anywhere yet, you can come over to drafts, and you can find them here. So you don't have to scroll through everything. So I'm over in the drafts. Now what I did is I've enlisted my youngest son to help me with this because, and he's, I hired him basically to do this. So what he does is he opens my app and, well, first of all, he takes my pictures of these sewing patterns. Okay. So these are all his pictures. So he takes pictures of this, he opens the app, he selects the template, Vogue Patterns template, he adds the photos in the app to that draft listing, and then I've got him adding, as you can see, he's added the pattern number, and he's added the information for the sizing, and he's added the year. So I've asked him to make these drafts for me. So then once he does all that, he just hits save in the app. and then it shows up here in my drafts, and the photos are loaded and everything like that. So that's kind of similar to what I'd been doing with eBay. I take all my pictures with my phone, and then I was adding the pictures through my phone to a draft listing on eBay and then finishing the listing. I don't really like listing on my phone. I prefer my laptop. So I just gave him a stack of like 10 patterns. He took a bunch of pictures. As you can see, he took pictures and just made me these quick little drafts. So I think that's awesome, because then at any time I can just sit down with the patterns, you know, add my tags, add my description, things like that. And it's like he's already taken the pictures. He's already got the listing started for me. So I really like that idea. So let me see if there's anything else I can show you on here. Okay, so let me do this. Let's go to active. As you can see over here, there's Vendoo Labels. So if you had created any kind of label and you wanted to look for a specific item, you could do that. You also have a search bar. Now these are the active ones. I could switch to date created oldest, which is kind of funny because some of this stuff is, you know, okay, so like this one's been listed way too long. And I just recently did this, but I'll just do it again. So I've got this old listing. I tried to take some time to clean up my inventory list before we really got using this, you know, hardcore. But I had some things in here that I had maybe delisted on the site itself and then just forgot to follow up and clean up Vendoo as it is. So here's a listing it's been listed a while. Okay. You know, the description's kind of messed up. It was pulled in from Etsy, I think, a while back. And so I have it on Poshmark. Here's the Poshmark form. As you can see, I kind of fixed how the description looked on that one. And I have all this information on Posh, blah, 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 blah. Right? So what I can do, I mean, I can do that from over here as well. But so I could delist this item. So now it's delisted, then I can relist it. I could make changes in it if I wanted to. I could change the price, whatever, do that kind of thing, and then relist it. So now it's back on Posh, but it's on Posh as a brand new listing. And that, you know, follows Poshmark's rules of what's considered. Like if I had just listed this a week ago, it's not going to show up in their newly listed items. I think they have like a 60-day cutoff for that. So you could play around with that as well. Okay, so, but what you could do is you could go over here to multi-actions and you could do multi-delist and relist. And so now I've got boxes in front of each one. I could hit all of this stuff, you know, that's older, and then delist it, relist it. Okay. And when you do that, it'll ask you to choose like which platforms to do that on. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to do that right now. And I'm going to move that back to date created newest. And let me see any other features. So what another thing you can do is you can set up a stale listing warning. So I don't have it set up, but say I want to, after like 60 days, I can, it'll let me know that an item's been listed for like 60 days. So I might turn that on. I'm not sure. I have it off for now, but that might give you an idea of the items that you have that are a little bit older. And then you have your label manager and your template manager. So here's all the templates. We did discover you can't edit a template once it's made. You basically make changes to it and then save it as a new template and then just delete the old one. We discovered that's what we have to do. But you can create your templates right here. So you could create a template. You know, I could say maybe I want to do like advance sewing pattern, right? And then I could fill in what I want to fill in, and then, you know, then I'm good to go when I'm listing any advanced sewing patterns. Okay, so there's a little bit of information, certain things that if you want to have that are in common in all your listings, that's why you would set up a template. And I think that's just makes things so much faster when you're listing. You're not repeating yourself over and over and over again. Okay, so I'm crossing out active. So now this is all my listings with the drafts and the actives going. What else can I show you? Let's go ahead and look at, all right, here's a listing Mr. Pish Posh did. It's only on eBay right now. I'll just show you what the cross posting is like. So he's got all his information. He did the listing here in eBay, in Vendoo. So here is his listing, his eBay listing. And then if you look at the optional fields, he filled in what he could on there. I mean, item specifics on eBay just take time no matter where you do them. So, and then he's got the shipping all figured out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Poshmark because I need to do this anyway. It's all filled in. You know, this brand is not on there. Yeah, so, but it doesn't matter. I don't know that this one is vintage. If it was vintage, I would just put it, I would put the brand as vintage, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just leave that. I could put a color if I wanted to. And, you know, I can add a style tag. I don't know. I'm kind of on the spot right here. So let's just do something simple. Baseball cap. And basic, right? I don't know, and souvenir or something like that, right? So you fill in your style tags. You got your category. It's all set. Poshmark always wants to know what your original price was. I always put 0, listing price, and then bam, list on Poshmark. Okay, so this is because Mr. Pish Posh did the listing on eBay, and then I go through and do the listings on Poshmark and wherever else we're going to put them. But if I had been doing a listing, I probably would have put my style tags in right away at the beginning. And so then the cross posting to Poshmark would go even faster because I kind of did all that work to begin with. Okay, go back to my inventory and it pops right back down to it. And you can see now it is on eBay and Poshmark. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can show you or whatever. You can go ahead and leave me any questions down below. Like I said, that's just the process that we're using right now and making our listings in Vendoo, using the templates and just kind of getting everything on there and then cross-posting as we can into the other marketplaces. And I think it's helping. I think it's making, you know, Mr. Pish Posh is a fast lister anyway, compared to me. And he says he feels like he's going even faster. So we'll see. Anyway, leave me a comment down below if there was anything else in here that I could have that I could show you, or if you have any other questions about it. Anything else? Your analytics are right here. Like mine are not very accurate because I don't really keep up. I just mark it as sold. I don't worry about exactly what the selling price is because I get my information from other places. So that's Vendoo. Like I said, my link is down below. You could try it out. I think you can try it for free first. The first month, like I said, there should be a coupon code there as well as my link, and you can get 40% off your first month on it. And I think that coupon code is good till the end of January. So happy selling, everybody. Leave me questions, and I will talk to you soon.